Hey, I'm Collin. I play on the worship team here, and I love going to youth group here and stuff. But I just want to kind of tell you guys a little bit about my past. You know, I'm not just the happy guy, you know, all the time, just up on stage playing worship music all the time, you know, worshiping God every Sunday and Thursday. So I'm just going to start from the beginning. So pretty much when my mom was 19, still in high school, she got pregnant and had me and wasn't able to graduate school, and she couldn't fulfill her dream for being a dancer. And when I was born, 5 minutes before I was born, my father decided that he couldn't handle having a child. He just couldn't take it. He didn't want to go through it. So he bailed out. So I've gone my whole life without a father. And pretty much my whole life through grade school, my mom was a drug addict. She smoked pot and stuff all the time. She was doing it before I was born. And I didn't know that she was doing that. I just thought, you know, every time she comes home acting crazy and stuff, she's just having a good time, you know, just being herself. But then when she would just go the completely opposite direction with her emotions and just go from happy to just sad on the ground crying for no reason, I would just ask her, you know, what's wrong? And she'd be like, who are you? Where am I? And it would just confuse me. I didn't know what was going on. And I soon later realized that, you know, she was a drugaholic and all that stuff, so I was too young to realize that. So during, I want to say, 5th grade, she got caught with weed on her and went to jail for possession for 3 months, a little bit over 3 months. And when she got back, she was clean and everything, you know, we were happy, we were a family again. I was so happy about that. But instead of weed, she switched to drinking. She would drink non-stop all the time, no matter what. And I didn't know why. I would see her do it all the time, you know. She looked like she was having fun doing it. It made her happier, you know. She wasn't crying anymore or being sad. But during middle school, I wasn't exactly Mr. Popular, you know. I wasn't the same kid that I am now. I had like short hair. No, imagine this tall from the floor up, short hair, and then this huge like rat tail all the way down my back. No, I'm not joking. And people found out, you know, my family was poor, you know, we didn't have money, we didn't have enough money to buy a bunch of clothes for me, buy a bunch of food or anything like that. I didn't have a dad. They soon realized that out. And so they decided, instead of making me feel better, being there for me like they should have, that they would make fun of me nonstop, every day. And at first, you know, I was like, oh, whatever, I don't care, you guys are just jealous, or you just are mean, something like that, I don't know. But, you know, if someone just keeps attacking you like that, multiple people every day for like all of grade school and then that year of middle school, you know, I couldn't take it anymore. So I started getting into fights every day, like fist fights every day. And I thought that was solving my problems. People were starting to like me more because, you know, I was the fighter now. I could take care of my problems, solving it with actions instead of words. And it just wasn't working. Just started getting into fights for no reason. Like someone would say something bad about somebody else and I would hear it and I would think it was about me. And I would just go off on them, just, you know, beat them up or something like that. That's what I thought was the right thing to do. But eventually I just got tired of that. It was just pointless getting into fights all the time, getting beat up, bruises and stuff, mom yelling at me because I was getting in trouble all the time at school. So I stopped fighting and still didn't really have any friends, so I didn't know what else to turn to. I was lonely, had nobody there for me, so I thought, hey, I remember my mom drinks all the time. It always makes her happy. I never see her sad. So pretty much every time I was home alone, which was a lot back then, mom was always out. No dad, just little brother in the other room watching TV or something like that. So I would go and find the biggest bottle of whatever smelled like my mom's breath when she was drunk, pretty much, and just crack it open and just down it as much as I could. I didn't care how much it hurt, how much it burned. I wasn't going to stop drinking until I thought my problems were fixed. But it didn't work out too well. I got tired of getting drunk all the time and waking up in the morning feeling like I needed to puke all the time with bad headaches and stuff. Just not a good feeling at all. So I stopped doing that because it was just stupid. And so now we're in 6th grade, and we moved out of the house where it was just me and my mom and my brother, and moved back with my grandparents. So, see, my grandparents pretty much raised me, because my mom was never there and my dad wasn't there at all. He just left. So my grandma pretty much knows me. She can read me like a book, like it's nothing. She doesn't even need a book. It's just there. And so whenever I would come home, she could just hear by the way that I'd come in the house if I was in a good mood or a bad mood. And if I was in a bad mood, you know, she'd ask me what was wrong. And then I could talk to her about anything. I still can. And then my grandpa is the funniest guy ever. I love him so much. Pretty much the same as my grandma, you know, they're a perfect match. Except for whenever I would get home, if my grandma was like asleep or something like that, nobody was home or something like that, or even if there was people home, he would look at me and be like, hey, what's wrong? Like, oh, well, I got picked on again in school. Like, okay, I'll meet you out in the car in 5 minutes. Just go wait for me. Just start up the car. I'm like, okay. So I go out to the car. He comes back, and I remember one day we're out in the car, and you know those Necco candies? Little circle, like chalk candy things, I don't know what you call them, yeah. He was like obsessed with those. Everywhere we would go, he would always have those little candies, and he just pulls out 2 huge rolls of them. I mean, they were like that big. He's like, okay, you're gonna take this. We're gonna go for a drive, wherever you wanna go, and we're not going home until you finish that. It's like, okay, well then I'll try and eat it as slow as I can.